Welcome back to Fill in the Gaps. I am Egg, and with me today is Miss April.
Hello.
How you going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
That's good.
Rushing around like a headless fucking chook today.
Yeah.
But
traumatic.
Traumatic stuff, you know, the old refunds at the shop.
Yeah.
Yep, getting told that you can't get a refund.
Yeah.
Having to be a Karen.
I hate that.
I know.
I'm pretty sure there are laws that are like, you know, you should be able to get a refund if the tags are on and it's like within a certain time period. So
You
I
think so?
I think they're doing the dodgy on you.
I think so. Well, luckily it wasn't my dress that didn't fit, so could make it fit, maybe.
I'd love to see that.
Do you reckon I could fit in a size 6?
Yeah, next podcast, pop it on.
Yeah, size 6, I reckon. I reckon I can do a cut before then. That'll work well. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, share, all that fun stuff. Helps it grow. And big shout out to the Hen House for hosting, as always. Legends down here. I always forget to mention them. Always.
Oh, you've been leaving them out.
I know. And I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for them. So big kisses to the Hen House. Big sloppy kisses. Anyway, yes, April.
Hello.
You're here.
Yes, I have arrived.
You have arrived before I got here.
Yeah, I was early.
Yeah,
I
I know.
overestimated how long it would take to get here, and then I got here and I was like, well, what do I do now? So I've just been looking at TikToks while I wait for you.
Any good ones?
I've seen some funny ones
Yep.
going around. I get a lot of cats come up on my For You page because I love a funny cat vid.
Always good.
Yeah, I saw a little kitten taking a bath, which was nice.
Very nice. So it's more
Yeah.
cute cat videos
Yeah.
than funny cat videos?
A couple of funny ones. I
Okay.
got this one that was like, it was like a cat as the basis of the video, but it was more so the meme in the background, and it was like something like, when my husband says that he doesn't want anything from the fast food place, but then I come back with mine and he sniffs around, and it was like the cat sniffing around, and I was like, yeah, that's very relatable.
Does that happen with you and your husband?
Yes.
Because I've only ever known about it being the man bringing home the treats.
No, it is the opposite in our relationship. He constantly, because he is into his fitness, so he'll be like, no, I don't want anything from McDonald's at all. Don't you dare get me any. And then as soon as I come home with that McDonald's bag, he'll be like, ooh, looks like scraps to me. And
I can relate to that, but it's not me sniffing around. It's very much the other way around.
Yeah. We're
Yep.
both victims of the sniff around.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. That's a good way to put it. Victims of the sniff around, hey? Yeah, even last night I got home from a work function at about midnight and asked both my missus and her friend who's staying with us if they wanted anything, and they said no. So I was like, okay.
Okay.
I'm on the health grind as well, but I didn't have any dinner. It was midnight, didn't want to use the microwave, so I was like, I can cheat on my diet this one time. So I got some
You
chippies.
deserve it.
Ice cream machine was broken. I was
Always.
very mad because that was the whole reason I went. Got the chippies, got a large and a regular, and I was like, she's going to want some.
Yeah.
Laid in bed, had my large one. She was fast asleep. It was midnight, and I was like, oi, do you want some? Do you want some? Do you want some? Just nothing. And then I got one and like put it in front of her nose, and she went, and like just turned over. I was like, okay,
Wow.
more for me. Ate them. Guess what happened in the morning?
Oh, she wanted
Both
her
of them
chippies.
going, why didn't you get me chippies? And I'm like, I fucking did. And I offered them to you. And guess what you said? So
Oh, see, I think the smell of the chippies in front of my nose, that would have got me. I would have woken up like, let's go. It's time.
Yep, because my thing is if she's ever out and says, do you want anything? And I say no, I mean it. I don't want anything. But
Yeah.
I know her too well. If she
Yeah.
says no, I'm like, yes, you do. And if
I'm
you
the
don't
same.
now, then you're going to.
You learn over time. I have been known to just get an extra cheeseburger whether he says yes or no.
Good
just
idea.
to stop him from taking my food, you know?
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yep, good man. Good man. Loves the cheeseburger. Anyway, yes, on that, you are happily married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about how you guys met, because I know it's a pretty interesting story because it was love at first sight and no one got blocked on any socials or anything.
It was somewhat love at first sight, or at least like there was a spark there at first sight. I don't recall the actual meeting, but he is a photographer and he shoots a lot of music events and I go to a lot of music events. So we bumped into each other out on the scene somewhere and added each other on Facebook. And then over the next couple of weeks, we were chatting over Facebook and I thought he was very cute and very lovely. And so I screenshot his profile and put it in the girls' chat to be like, guys,
As you do.
this guy, maybe, he's
Uh-huh.
pretty cute. And then the girls' chat went absolutely insane. And they were like, absolutely not. That's Bleep's ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, I won't say the name, but yeah, she was horrified and was like, yep, that's my ex. We were together for a long time. He is not the one for you. I forbid it. And I was like, okay. And I was instructed to block him, which I did, sadly.
Oh. Took the girlies' advice.
That's right.
Yep.
You know, sisters before misters and all that.
The one.
And then over time, me and that particular friend, for other reasons, had a falling out. And so, yeah.
Don't lie. It was because you kept going to Macca's and not bringing her home anything. That's what it was, wasn't
that's
it?
what it was. You got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sort of had a falling out and weren't friends for a little while. And I did, unblock him, re-add him, but he had a girlfriend and I was like, respect.
Fair enough.
And then I had a boyfriend and whatever. And so finally, after like 5 years of this little dance where we kept checking if each were single, finally we were both single at the same time. And then it was his birthday and I said, happy birthday, can you take me on a date? And he said, yes, I can.
Very nice. Smooth.
And then he told me he loved me by our second date. So
Yeah, right. He's a fast mover.
That little 5-year dance that we had kind of built up all the anticipation and then we just fell in love.
There you go.
Yeah.
Third date proposed, fourth date got married. Yep.
Almost that quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. So he works music events. Are they big music events or is it more local stuff? Or
Yeah, so he is, this might be biased, but he is the best event photographer in Perth.
That's so biased.
Yeah, he's very good though. Trust me, if you see his work, he'll agree with me.
What's his name? Where can we find his work?
It's at KS Digital Media on Instagram, and you will fall in love as soon as you see it. If there's any musos that are listening, they'll be like, I'm going to book him as my photographer. Yeah. But yeah, he's done all big artists that have come to Perth. Anyone worth shooting, he's shot them.
Yeah, right. Good stuff.
He's also travelled a lot for doing photography as well. So he has worked with Awake Tours that does like music festival tours around like America and Europe and stuff. So he's shot EDC and he's shot Coachella and all of those like big festivals and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, he's been very lucky.
Right into it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, you picked a good one there.
That's it.
Yeah, and I haven't even seen him.
He takes lovely photos of me as well. So he's a keeper.
There you go. Sounds like he is a keeper. Just, let me know if he becomes single or anything, Might hit him up.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Cleo. Nice. And then where did you guys get engaged? Was it a fun story? And
yeah, it was. So we had, like within a few months of us dating, we decided we wanted to go on our first holiday together. So we booked to go to New Zealand, and this was like during COVID time, but we still had a little bit of a bubble with New Zealand. It was like the only place that you were allowed to go. Yeah. And so we booked all that in, and then New Zealand said, no Aussies are allowed here anymore, so we had to cancel our whole trip. So we had all these flight credits and stuff, and then the following year, now we'd been together for over a year, we decided to rebook everything. He did subtly ask me like 2 months before we went on our holiday, like, if we ever did get engaged, what kind of ring would you like? He did it much more subtle than that, but yeah. So I said, yeah, I like kind of like showed him some pictures of maybe one day something like this. And then when we were in New Zealand, we flew into Christchurch, and then we drove from Christchurch to a place called Mount Cook. And Mount Cook was special because my maiden name was actually Cook, April Cook.
There you go.
And so on that drive there, you can imagine the scenery was absolutely beautiful. And we stopped at this Lake Takapu, I think it's called, or Takapo. And it's like the most serene, beautiful place. And then he set up his fancy camera and was like, I just want to get a nice photo of us. But secretly he had set it up to take photos intermittently every couple of seconds. And
Smart
then
man.
we stood in front of the lake, and then we got our little photo, and then he got down on one knee and proposed.
Very cute.
And he said it in the most nervous, cute little voice. He was like, will you marry me? And I was like, yes. And then,
I thought you were going to say, I've actually got back in contact with my friend and she said that I can't.
Yeah, sorry, I have to block you now. Sorry.
Maybe when you become single again or Yeah, nice. Well,
Yeah, so he proposed and it was the best day. And like up until this point in my life, I had never seen snow before. I'd been somewhere where it had snowed, but I didn't actually see it falling from the sky. And I'd said that's like one of my big dreams. And so after he proposed and we continued our drive to Mount Cook, it was like dangerously close to snowing. And we were just thinking, we just want to get it to Mount Cook because if it snows while we're driving, it'll be dangerous. And then we got to our hotel and we went up to the room and then we looked out the window and it just started snowing. And so we put on our little snowsuits and we went out there and like, you know, ran around and made little snowmans and stuff and it was so fun.
Nice. Yeah, snow is a pretty cool thing. What did you think of snow as a whole?
Cold, wet.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's the answer I was hoping for because, in my experience, it was boiling. So, no. Yeah, I really liked it, but I feel like it was not what I thought it was going to be. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's a lot harder than you expect it to be. Yeah.
I think for me as well that like I didn't realize that as soon as you touch it, it's not snow, it's water. And so I was like, oh, so beautiful. And then my hands were wet. Or like it was in my hair and then I had wet hair. And I was like, this is a bit annoying.
Yeah. And then your hands are freezing and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Always
But
nice.
I think I loved it, but it's very good in small doses. I wouldn't want to live somewhere where it just snows all winter long because I would get very sick of it very fast.
And lucky we're in Perth, so we do not have to deal with that at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just deal with fucking 40-degree heat. You.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then, where did you guys get married? Was that in New Zealand as well?
No, so we got married. So basically, because Kamil, my husband, he is a photographer. The Awake tours that I spoke about before, they booked him to do a Vegas trip for EDC. And so he was like, babe, I'm going to Vegas. Do you want to come? And I was like, absolutely. And we were already engaged by this point. And so I was like, I distinctly remember it. We were actually in the shower and I was like, he was like, oh, you know, when we go to Vegas, I can't remember what we were talking about. He was talking about something about like the food or something. And I was like, wait a minute, should we get married while we're there? And we had previously been discussing how expensive weddings and stuff were and how like we didn't want to feed into that. And so, yeah, he was like, absolutely, that's the best idea ever. So we went to Vegas and we got married at the Little White Chapel, which is where all the celebrities and stuff get married. And we were in the back of a pink Cadillac and we had like, it was just me and him, no family or friends or anything. It was just about us and it was really beautiful. And then we had a photographer and videographer come along and like take us around Vegas and make this kind of like music video.
Nice.
So our music video song was First Date by Blink-182 because that was our song.
Nice.
And yeah, it turned out so beautiful and it's like the best memory of my life. I'd say the day he proposed and the day we got married in Vegas are the two best days of my life.
Which one's better?
Ooh, the day he proposed, I think, because it was a surprise.
Nice.
Whereas
Fair
the Vegas one, I was very anxious to like, because it was like a lot of pressure to make sure everything went well. Whereas the proposal, he did everything and I just got to be there and look pretty and enjoy it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that sounds like a dream because weddings are expensive.
They are, aren't they?
As an engaged man, looking to plan a wedding.
Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
yes.
You're at the fun part now, I see, the planning part.
We started planning, but my partner, she's at uni and she's only just started working again. She worked at the start of the year in retail, took some time off just to focus on uni, and now she's back working. But that period where it was just me, I was like, bro, I can barely afford to stay alive. Like, I can't afford to have a wedding, so...
That's it. And, like, whenever you say that it's a wedding, everything charges more. Like, if you say, I want to book this venue for my birthday, they're like, yep, it's this price. If you say I'm booking it for a wedding, they're like, oh, this is now triple the price.
Yeah.
And the same with, like, her hair, her makeup, everything's going to cost triple what you think.
Yeah, because we even went to the wedding expo, and it's, like, very helpful and everything, but... looking at the prices of things, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's tough.
Yeah, we've kind of thought about just doing like a shotgun wedding kind of thing and just signing the papers. But yeah, we'll see. Because our plan was Halloween next year.
Ooh, spoopy.
Because we want to have it on Halloween, but we're kind of like, what's the rush? We're super young. Like, it's not going anywhere.
That's
Fingers crossed, knock on wood. And yeah, we're just kind of like... if we can make it happen Halloween next year, we will. If not, we'll do Halloween the year after. If not, Halloween the year after.
They keep coming around every year.
They
so
do.
You got plenty of chances.
Yep.
Yep.
The world start coming and it don't stop coming. So
That's it.
yeah, that's what the man said. I feel like I've mentioned that on a podcast before. I think it was right after what's his name died. So
Yeah.
big rip.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, expensive stuff. So it sounds like you were living the dream on a
That's
budget.
it. To be fair, we still did have like a wedding reception in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
We did it on the raft on the Swan River.
Yep.
That was also very expensive, but they took really good care of us. Like if you book any events on the raft, like just know that their staff and everything, they take care of everything. They're really lovely. So we had a big party there with all our family and friends and stuff, just kind of to celebrate, because I think like a couple of the family members were a bit like, oh, you went and got married without us there, and
Always the way.
felt a bit left out. So we threw a little party. So it's up to you. You can have many weddings. You can have a small one now and a big one in 5 years, you know?
Yep. Something to keep in mind. Yeah, because, I mean, we're not planning on having a massive wedding, but I don't know, you say not a lot of people and you start making the guest list and you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of people. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not planning on inviting much of my family to the wedding. And then a lot of her family is in South Africa other than her parents. So that's okay.
It's hard because like once you invite one person, then you start to think like, okay, this person's going to think I don't like them if I don't invite them, but I invite this person, so I have to invite them. And then your list just grows and grows and you're like, oh my goodness.
Even like one of the ideas we had was, I don't know if you've seen people do this where they have a tattoo artist at the wedding and then like anyone can go up and just like get like a little tattoo, like a tiny tattoo, like a love heart or something like that, just as a kind of
keepsake.
Kind of thing. Like,
that would be so cool, but I imagine very expensive.
Yeah, it would be expensive, but also doing this podcast, there's people who are like, oh yeah, I'd love to do it because I'd love to like be there for the wedding for you guys. And I'm like, that's sick. But then there's also other tattoo artists where I'm going to invite them to the wedding and I'm like, I don't want them to be like, why didn't you ask me to do that?
Yeah. Sometimes Kamal will get asked to do photos for a wedding and he's like, I don't want to do photos. I just want to come to your wedding.
Yeah. So it's a tricky one. It's always a balancing act. But I mean, you make it work and happy wife, happy life as long as you bring them home a cheeseburger, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what they say. I think that's in the Bible or something. Cool. So did you didn't have much of your family at the raft thing, or you did have family at the raft?
I did have my family at the raft. I had like my immediate family and then like a little bit of my extended family.
Yeah.
I think like his family's much more, like they have a lot more family members than I have, to the point where like there are members of his family that was like the first time I'd ever met them.
Yeah.
Because he's European. But yeah, I mostly had, I'd say I had probably like 10 family members and then like 30 friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he had like, because we had 40 people each, so he had 40, and that was mostly all family.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So whereabouts in Europe is he from?
He's Polish.
Right. Is he like from Poland or was he born here and his roots are Polish?
He was born in Australia, but both his parents are fully Polish.
Yep.
They moved here. His mum didn't learn to speak English or anything until she got here. So he was raised in a very Polish way, a lot of Polish traditions and things like that. And then like his babcia, which is his grandma, she also moved to Perth and she doesn't speak English at all. So when we have dinners and stuff like that, most people will speak Polish and I kind of will be like, what are they saying? And he'll have to translate.
Have you learned any other language?
I know babcia means grandma.
There you go. That's all you need.
And so him and I have a cat and we will refer to his mum now as my cat's babcia.
Gotcha.
So like, and she lives with us, so we'll be like, oh, bye, Indy, got to stay with babcia today.
I like that. Does he have a very Polish last name?
He did, but we changed our last name when we got married. So his previous surname was, I'll try to say it without butchering it.
No. If you butcher it, he's going to see this and he's going to be like, not cheeseburgers for the next year.
It was pronounced, I think it's pronounced like Stuczki, but it's spelt like SZCZUCKI. So it's like a weird spelling. But yeah, when we got married, we decided to use his middle name as our surnames, which is Alexander.
Yep.
And we have the Polish spelling on there to like respect the Polish roots.
Oh,
But
so it's Alexander, but it's got 14 Z's in there, 16 K's, and a couple of I's and Y's.
We made it as long as possible.
Yep.
We really had to fill up that gap of surname here.
Yeah.
So we kind of did that because, first of all, he's had that Struksky as his surname like his whole life and has had trouble with like telling people how it's spelled and how it's pronounced and everything like that. And then also for me, as my little feminist thing, I was like, oh, like why would I want to take a man's last name? And then also the last name that I've had my whole life was my dad's. And I was like, why do I have to have a man's last name? I can just pick my own. And so we settled on Alexander. And interestingly enough, his initials were KS, which is why his company is called KS Digital.
Yeah.
But we spelled Alexander with a KS, so he's kept the name KS Digital because Alexander has a KS in it.
There you go. Big brain. Yeah, nice. And in terms of your family and upbringing and everything, you've got Indigenous Australian roots, and is it French?
Yeah, I've got a mixture. Yep. So my mum is like colonizer British roots, and then my dad, he's a bit of a mix as well. As far as I know, French and Aboriginal, but when I did my DNA test, it said I also have like quite a large percentage of Irish as well, which I didn't know. So skiddly dee, I am Irish. But yeah, so my Indigenous heritage has been something that I've not really explored a lot. So like obviously as a kid, I was always told that I am Aboriginal. When we fill out forms and things, if it says, are you Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, I always tick yes. It was like something that I knew about myself but didn't really know in depth about, especially obviously being white passing, being a white person. It was something that I didn't really explore a lot. And then as I've gotten older, I started to kind of feel like I wanted to know a bit more about my heritage, which is why I did the DNA test, and I started connecting with through Ancestry.com, like seeing what my family history was like and stuff. And when I realised that I had connections to Kamilaroi, Turrbal and Wonnarua tribes, I was like, this is really interesting. I want to know a bit more about like what their traditions are, since I was raised in such a British way, like a very Australian British, like roast dinners and things like that. And so, I was like, I want to look into this. And so I've been learning about that. And then I took a unit at uni called Aboriginal Voices, which is learning about like culture and things like that. And obviously there's so many different countries within Australia. So, you know, when you say you're Aboriginal, that's kind of like saying you're European, you know, that's a big group, but then you have your smaller countries within that. So each of the three tribes that I have connection to have completely different ways of life. And so I've been reading up about all of those bits and pieces, planning a trip to go and visit. So I've been to Brisbane, which is my Turrbal part, but I haven't been to like Kamilaroi country. I haven't been to Wonnarua country, so I'd love to go visit.
Whereabouts are they?
So sort of imagine inland on the border between Queensland and New South Wales, like in that border section there, in there. And so I'd love to go out and visit. And I've just been trying to embrace it as much as possible and connecting with my other family, that like people I didn't even know I was related to. I've been like reaching out to like cousins I didn't know I had and being like, oh my God, I want to enrich this part of my, you know, myself.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. Hey, like I wish that they taught us more about like Aboriginal like culture and history and everything when I was growing up in school, because it wasn't that long ago, but I got taught nothing. Like when I was primary school, I think I've said it on the podcast before, when I was in primary school, they taught us that like James Cook came and discovered Australia.
That's it.
And I was like, James Cook, he discovered Australia. And then as you get older, you're like, that's not what happened.
That's it too. Like I remember learning things at school and like saying to my dad, like, hey, like, you know, when Australia was discovered, and my dad saying things like, we weren't discovered, like we were already here. They came and invaded. And like, so luckily I had my dad to kind of like clear things up a little bit, but also because my family is stolen generation as well, he doesn't even know a whole lot about his culture as well. And so, it's been like, I've had little bits and pieces that I've learned, but it hasn't been until adulthood that I've actually, I guess with things like TikTok and stuff, I've been able to actually learn things about, the genocide and things like that. And it's been a really confronting experience for me, especially like with the recent referendum and things. That's brought up a whole new pile of information for me to sort of process through. And feeling a little disappointed about the way the vote went. Very understanding of like why people voted that way, because there were pros and cons for the yes and the no vote. But yeah, it was just a bit of a confronting experience for me. To be
of course. And like, I don't know, because when this came out, the vote was the voice vote was quite a while ago. But like obviously, as of now, it wasn't that long ago. But I'm not a political person at all. Like I stay away from it. I'm like, they're all gonna lie about something regardless. It doesn't matter what you do.
That's what politicians do.
But like coming up to the vote, I kind of did a little bit of research here and there. And like when I first heard about it, I was like, of course I'm going to vote yes. Like, of course I want them to have a voice. This is fantastic. And then you start reading more about it and I'm like, both sides seem kind of like shady in a way. And
that's
like,
what's hard, because I think they purposely made it a very, shrouded experience, and like they purposely had misinformation out there and scare tactics and things like that, which was such a shame. And even though I was a yes voter and I completely have not changed my opinion on that, I was kind of seeing a lot of Aboriginal people that were saying, I don't want the yes vote, I'd prefer a no vote, and they had very legitimate reasons, and I was like, okay, I understand that as well. So it wasn't an easy one, but I just hope that in the future the system, they come up with better ideas and they explain them better, and we have some kind of a vote or something that is more black and white, for lack of a better term. Just more of a positive change, because it felt like the closer we got to the vote, the more it was like, we don't know which one is going to bring more positives, which one's going to be more negative. It's just all so clouded. And someone who's not political, I was like, I don't fucking know what to do anymore. I was walking into the voting thing being like, I don't know what I'm going to vote. I have no idea, because my heart is saying yes. But in my head, I'm like, it sounds like the people telling us to vote yes don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Like, so, I don't know. I ended up voting yes, but like, I was very torn. I was like, I feel like there's not really a right answer at this point. So definitely. I think the only solace that I do have is that the no vote kind of means nothing's going to change per se. So it's like, at least it's not getting worse. Whereas with the yes vote, there would have been changes and I wouldn't have known if they were good or bad changes. So as much as I wanted the yes vote, I'm trying to find the silver lining of the no vote. And also there were, I think last count, it was like 5 million Aussies that did vote yes. So I'm like, nice. That's still a lot of people that kind of were, seeing things in my way as well. So,
and obviously, like you were saying with the no vote, like you understand the pros of the no vote. So it's like, okay, you can kind of get past. But then there's also that side of the no vote where it's these just like, I don't want to use the word, but like, those kind of people where like they get the no vote, it comes through, and then they're like, fuck those people. And it's like, that's not what the no vote's about. It's not, do you want the like Indigenous people to have more rights, be looked after, all that kind of thing, or do you hate them? It's like, that's not what it is. And when they treat it like that, it's like, that's why I didn't want to vote no, because I don't agree with that. So
come to think of it as well, like one of the other good things about the fact that like the vote is now said and done is that leading up to the vote, I was exposed to so much of the R word. I was exposed to so much of that on social media. Like it was just everywhere, and I can't help myself. I'm reading everything and I'm feeling offended, but then I'm like, who cares? It's just the internet. But then I'm like, but this is so mean. Should I fight back? I don't know. Yeah.
That's right. We don't need to censor ourselves. Don't be a racist piece of shit, okay? It's fine if you voted no, but just don't be...
as long as you voted no for kind reasons and not evil reasons.
Because you're a racist piece of shit, okay? Let's just not do that one. Let's love everyone and accept everyone. How about that? That's not too hard, right? Not too much to ask?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but Some people do.
Some
They can
people
go
think it's very
fuck
hard
themselves.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck them
Ooh,
kids,
I
bro.
chucked in an F-bomb because I was like,
Woo!
you're swearing, I'm going to say a swear on the podcast.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Oh, she get a swear. No, you're allowed to swear. It's fine. It's
Thank
absolutely
you.
fine.
Yeah, I imagine your crowd, your listeners are all big swearers. I can see it now.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And that's why we love them.
Yeah. Shout out to all the 6-year-olds watching that love to swear.
Yeah, if you're listening to this in the car with your kids in the back, I apologise for my one F-bomb.
Hey, it's fine because I swear like 100 times on every podcast and I make sure to mark it as like not made for children. So
Oh, good.
yeah, there's no age restriction.
Very
but
responsible.
exactly. I like to be
Yeah,
responsible to these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nah, you got to have a bit of swearing. I am Australian after all.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. I'm actually a really big swearer, but I've been trying to dial it back because because I've been doing some TikToks and stuff. I've noticed that if I swear in the TikTok that it gets age restricted. So I've cut back on my swears lately. I've been like trying to make a conscious effort to be more careful about my wording.
Even some of like the Instagram reels and stuff and clips that I've posted from the podcast, I try to promote them and stuff. And if you swear in them or have swearing in the caption, they're like, no, can't promote it. And I'm like, that's what makes it fun though.
And I remember like I used to listen to podcasts and like watch YouTube videos and they would like bleep out their swears and I'd be like, oh, come on. And now I'm like, am I going to have to be one of those people that bleeps out my swears?
Yeah.
Because I'm such a swearer. Oh my God, I can't help myself.
I can't either. Yeah, my missus' family gets very annoyed at me for it. And I'm like, I'm Australian. It's just an adjective. I'm not being mean to anyone. I'm just...
And sometimes without swearing, you don't get the right emphasis.
Exactly.
Like you can't say go away. You have to say get
fucked.
Fuck off.
Exactly. That's what we say to the bad no voters.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. So, yes, on to the next topic because that's a smooth way to go from topic to topic.
Perfect segue.
Oh, fuck yeah. Smooth as gravel.
Speaking of topics.
Yeah, speaking of things that exist.
Yeah.
You recently got diagnosed with ADHD. Is that right?
That is correct, yeah.
Send me a dude because I need to get diagnosed.
Yeah, oh my God. So I think I've had symptoms of ADHD my entire life, but I didn't realize that's what it was. I was a very like anxious kid, big overthinker, very disruptive in class and things like that. My older brother was diagnosed with ADHD as a kid, but we presented very differently. I've heard between boys and girls it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw what he was like and I was like, I'm not like that, so I must not have ADHD. And then about 5 years ago, I started seeing women with ADHD on social media speaking about their experience. And I was like, that sounds a bit like me.
Exactly like me, yeah.
Yeah, and then my best friend, Lizzie, she got diagnosed and she said something in passing one day and it really stuck with me. She was like, neurodiverse people tend to stick together or link up. So if all your friends have autism or if all your friends have ADHD, then it's likely that you do as well. And I was like, so last year I tentatively got not a diagnosis, but I had both my GP and my psychologist say, oh, you might want to get tested because it sounds like, you may be in that realm. And then I saw my GP and got a referral to an ADHD specialist. I saw Dr. Febo in Dianella, and he's a legend. Kind of looks a bit like a cartoon character, but very interesting.
I need to see what he looks like now because now I'm very invested.
Yeah, he's a very interesting looking man, very strange voice and everything, very animated. So I went to see him. And like the process is like you sit down and he asks you all these questions and then he gives you a score and the score determines, because it's kind of a spectrum. So if you've got a high score, then, you're more likely to be diagnosed. And if you've got a lower score, then maybe you won't get a diagnosis, but you'll get other avenues of things you can do and try. And so he asked me all my questions and he told me my score. And he said that's in the very high range for the hyperactive part. So he was like, I would happily give the diagnosis. And then I started on Vyvanse. He also diagnosed me with binge eating disorder as well. And then he said that the medicine they use for ADHD and the medicine they use for binge eating is actually the same medicine, which is perfect. So I only have to take the one. It's Vyvanse. And so I've been taking that now for a couple of months, and oh my God, my entire life has improved. So I've been taking it since July, and I've started studying now. I can focus on things. I'm sleeping better. I've lost weight. I'm eating better. I'm just like, I have so much more energy. I can actually go out and do things without constantly feeling like I am exhausted. I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been a really big shift for me. I feel like a new woman. And I'm not sure if I mentioned before, but I'm 30. So I didn't get diagnosed until I was 30. I spent the first 30 years of my life kind of just raw dogging it, just like trying my hardest and wondering why I wasn't achieving what other people were achieving and things like that. And now I'm like, I got this.
It's me for the first 22 years of my life here, buddy boy. Almost 23. I've been just raw dogging it. I know I've got something spicy going on in my personality, but...
You know, us neurodiverse people tend to stick together.
We do. And the only thing that made it click was meeting my neurodiverse missus.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she also has not been diagnosed, but her group of friends...
Yeah.
You can guess where that's going.
Exactly.
Yep. So it all happens. I do kind of want to get a diagnosis. It's so expensive.
It is expensive.
Though. So I'm I've got through 23 years of it. Like, is it going to matter? I don't like reading and stuff anyway because I just can't
100%.
read. Like, I don't know if you were the same before you got on the medications and stuff.
I love to read, but I've always found it hard to stick to it. But now I've been powering through a book series, this Akatar series. It's about fairies and stuff. It's very cheesy, but I'm obsessed with it. But when Carmel, my husband, was rehearsing here at the hen house, his DJ set the other day, he was blasting full volume dubstep music, and I was reading my book. I couldn't even hear him. That's how focused I was.
Is that how normal people work?
They can focus on one thing. And
no way.
Even background,
bullshit.
They can listen to music and do something and not get distracted.
I can barely do half a thing without getting distracted. I think I might have said this before on the podcast, but yeah, like I see signs of it all the time. But I was at work drinks with some of my workmates on like a Friday afternoon, and we were just at a bar, and I was like sitting here, they were sitting there, people next to me, and then I was facing the road. And I saw someone just being a shit driver, like kind of going to the middle of the road and people honking at them. And I was just like, I thought I just like looked at it for 2 seconds. And I looked back and everyone at the table was just staring at me. And I was like, what happened? And they're like, were you not listening? And I was like, I was looking at the car, and then they all looked and the car wasn't there. And I was like, don't worry, I was just hyper fixated on that happening.
That's so relatable.
Yeah.
Also, like, I get very irritated by things, like small things that, like, to other people they wouldn't notice, but to me it really pisses me off.
Yeah.
And so, like, I've had to explain a couple of times to friends, like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad because I can hear the washing machine in the background, and also this shirt, like the tag on my shirt is itching me, and like, you know, like it's like.
I didn't even think about that one. I have that all the time. Like if I notice like the tag on the back of my neck, that's the only thing I'll think. Like I just moved my shirt, and now that's all I can think about.
I'm so sorry I brought it up. Yeah, all my shirts have the tags completely removed. I have like this little it's called a quick unpick, but it's like a little hook that removes thread, and I like unpick my tags because I cannot stand having a tag touch me.
I was just about to say, what do you do when you rip it off and then it has like the little spiky bit still left on it?
Those bits are even worse than the full size tag. That's why I gotta have the quick unpick.
Yeah. Fuck, you need to send me the link for that because I need me one of those.
Yeah.
First thing I do whenever I get a new shirt is just rip the tag off, and it's ended in disaster a couple of times, putting holes in the shirt and all that.
Yeah, it can go one of two ways. Either you have the little bit left over that is so much more itchy, or you rip it fully out, but now there's a hole there.
Yeah. See, now that you've said that, I'm thinking about all those little things where you don't think about it, and then once you think about it, you can't stop thinking about it, like your toes touching each other, and
I can't I can't let the bottom of my feet touch concrete. If I'm going anywhere that has concrete, I have to have shoes on.
Just concrete?
Concrete and other various concrete adjacent things, like the road.
Adjacent things.
Oh my God, I cannot. If the bottom of my foot touched the road, I think I would throw up.
What about tiles?
Tiles are okay if I'm having a shower, like if they're like, or if it's in the bathroom, but.
Wait, you shower without shoes on?
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm weird like that. Shoes off in the shower.
Shoes stay on in the shower all the
Oh
time.
my goodness. I'm
Yeah.
really embarrassed that I said that
Yeah,
now.
I know.
Oh.
I'll have to cut that out.
Yeah, cut that bit out.
Yeah, we love a bit of ADHD. Yeah, I've thought about getting diagnosed, but it's so expensive.
It is expensive,
so-
but if it's any solace, like my first appointment was like, I think it was like $1,300. But then I got $700 back from Medicare. Shout out Medicare.
Shout out Medicare.
And then my second appointment was only like, I think $60. And then my third appointment, I'm expecting to be about $60. So it's the first one that will screw you over. But then after that, it's much more chill, thank goodness.
Maybe I'll wait till I win a multi and just win like $600 and I'll go book in with the
Yeah,
doctor or something.
it's time. You'll win a multi and be like, finally, I can get my diagnosis.
Mate, like I go to the doctor when something's like really, really wrong. I don't go for like bad, like little checkups here and there. And my missus hates me for it because she's like, you have to go to the doctor. And I'm like, it's such a waste of money. Like,
yeah. Oh my God.
Fine.
Yeah, my husband's very much the same. I have to force him to go to the doctor. Like I think before him and I got together, he didn't even realize that like you can book in to see like a bulk bill GP. Like he hadn't been to.
Do
the
they even exist anymore though?
I don't
No
know.
one bulk bills
I've
anymore.
been struggling to find one that bulk bills. Like, hello.
Yeah.
I need to be able to get my little medical certificate to say I have a little cold to get out of work.
That's it. Like the only reason I go to the GP anymore is to get a new script for my meds. That's pretty much it. And to be fair, those doctors, the husband and the wife, can't remember their names, but they're amazing.
They are.
The last like 6 doctors I've been to, oh my God, that's the reason I don't go to the doctor. They are so useless. I went there to find out how to get a diagnosis for like lactose intolerance, gluten intolerance, fructose intolerance because I know I have them all. I just want a diagnosis.
I think I have lactose intolerance as well. When I have dairy, my tummy does not like it.
Yep. So it's bad. So I went to ask about that. And you know what she said? I was like, I eat cheese, I need to go to the toilet. I drink milk, I need to go to the toilet. I eat
like lactose
yogurt,
intolerance.
this, blah, blah, blah. I eat this food, this food, this food. It makes me do this, it makes me gassy, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? And she was like,
Don't have them.
Oh, worse. Legend of a doctor that she is looked at me after I said all that and said, okay. Is it possible you have HIV? I was like,
What?
I was like, what? She was like, have you been tested for STDs?
Oh my God.
I was like,
I would have started spiraling.
I was like, what do you mean? And she's just like, oh, it could be a few things. I was like, yep, the reason I can't drink milk and eat yogurt and eat cheese is because I've got AIDS, buddy boy. Like
everyone knows that is the first sign of
I was like,
AIDS.
what the fuck?
Oh my
What?
God.
So I was just like, don't even, just keep the papers there.
Yeah, I'm outta here.
Because I was there for another reason. I just thought I'd like ask while I was there, but I was like, I regret asking now, to be honest. So went and got tested and I was all good. But like, I was like, should I be worried? Like, is that?
I've heard with lactose intolerance though, I don't know if this is true, I'm not a doctor, but I've heard that like all adults to some degree are lactose intolerant. Like everyone is.
It's just like a spectrum,
like
hey?
the human body isn't supposed to have dairy, so most people have some kind of reaction to it. And like when I had acne, the first thing my doctor suggested was to cut out dairy, and so I did, and my acne cleared up. So your body just doesn't like milk, but it sucks because it just tastes so fucking good.
It's so fucking
How
good.
good is it?
Milk,
oh my
I
God.
can just like one of my favorite drinks is just full cream milk.
Literally me.
Yeah.
And people think I'm so weird. I'll have
Same.
like a glass of milk with my dinner because like strong bones, it's delicious.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's like a top 3 drink to me. I could just like, it's so fucking good.
To the point where like now I know I have some kind of problem with dairy, but still every couple of weeks I just give it a try. Just like, oh, maybe this time. Like example, I had a English breakfast tea this morning with milk.
How'd that go?
It didn't go good.
How long before you had to run to the toilet?
Somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes, I think.
Okay.
I had enough time to get to a toilet. That's what I do know, thank God.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, no, my poor tummy was not. It was like, why do you keep doing this? And I was like, it tastes good. Like, but yeah, cheese for me isn't as bad, thankfully. So I can get around cheese as long as it's small amounts. Like I can have like a slice of cheese in my sandwich. But yogurt, milk, ice cream.
Ice cream's so bad for me, and milk as well. I love them both. Cheese not so bad. Yogurt not so bad. Weirdly enough. But yeah, like fruit as well because I'm fructose intolerant and it sucks.
Is it all fruits? All of them?
It's fruits that are high in sugar. So like apples and
so
stuff.
all the good ones. Oh.
Apples actually don't make me go to the toilet. They just make me very gassy.
Really?
So yeah,
Your poor tummy.
Oh, it's the worst. But like mangoes is one of those ones where I just put up with it. It's like milk.
I love
I'm just like,
mangoes.
I'll eat it and just deal with whatever happens. But yeah, because I'm like big into the gym. This was probably a year and a half ago or something. I was trying to bulk, so I was just eating as much as I could. And dried fruits are really good for that because they're calorie dense. I got some dried apricots.
Yeah.
Literally like eating an instant active
laxative.
Oh
my God.
I ate them while I was at work and probably 30 to 45 seconds passed and I was like,
oh my God.
Oh fuck. And I didn't even like tell anyone I was going. I just ran to the toilet and I was there for about 20 minutes.
Well, one of my friends who's a nutritionist, she was saying that it actually takes like 12 hours for food to get from your mouth to out. And I was like, that can't be right.
No.
Because my body's like working much faster than that. I can eat something and then I swear it's gone.
Oh,
within 2 hours, I'm like, I'm fully empty, ready to go again.
Yeah, it's just like a glass tube, just like straight to my booty hole.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but apparently normal people,
which I am not,
non-intolerant people, they can eat stuff and then it will slowly digest over time. And I'm like, that sounds really nice. Good for you.
This is like super random, kind of on topic, but the other day at work, bless her soul, my coworker Bella, shout out to Bella.
Shout out Bella.
Oh, it was the funniest thing. We were sitting there at lunch and I got some lactose-free milk for the fridge at work because I was having coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember how we're on the topic, but she was like, oh, and then like, because you're lactose intolerant. And I was like, what did you say? And she was like, lactose intolerant. And I was like, say it slowly. Say the first word. And she was like, lactose. I was like,
lactose.
I was like, are you saying lactose? And she was like, yeah, why? I was
you can't eat toast.
I was like, it's lactose. And she was like, no, it's not. Look. And went and got the milk and read it. And she just like, her head just dropped. And she was like, I've been saying lactose my whole life.
Oh my God, how embarrassing.
I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made me
I've
chuckle.
had a couple of moments where like someone's corrected me on a word and I've been like, oh my God, I've been saying this wrong my whole life.
Oh, I've got a couple of those. Hey,
you know the word hyperbole?
Hyperbole?
I've been saying hyperbole. I've been saying hyperbole my whole life and no one has ever corrected me until this year. 30 years of saying it wrong, nobody correcting me. How embarrassing.
I love that.
I look back, I've got enough things to cringe about in my life that that's the one I think about before I fall asleep. I'm like, hyperbole.
The one that really fucks me up, but it's not even that embarrassing because it's not like I'm saying something wrong, but it just never clicked in my mind. You know those things where like it doesn't not make sense. You just never think about it to the point where it's like, why? Like, why does that?
You never really thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So my one was to make ends meet.
Oh,
I just always thought about it and I was like, what the fuck does it even mean to make ends meet? I was like, what kind of meat is ends meet? I was like, what is that?
It means like the two
ends to make
meeting.
like make them connect. And
I only made this connection recently. Like I always thought it was like, you know, to make ends meet was like you're getting some kind of meat to feed your family because you don't
That's
have
what
much
I thought.
money.
Hey, make ends meet. I thought it meant like it's like a way to say like I'm providing like what I need, like the meat. And and then one day I was like to make and then I was like, oh, to make ends.
The ends are meeting
each other. And I was just like
Yeah.
driving in my car. I was like, fuck, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I'm with you with that one. That one confused me too. But I feel like, you know, it's a shared experience.
Yeah.
We're on the right track now. We know now. When you know better, you do better.
But as you get older, you realize that no one really knows anything.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just pretending.
I do like so every Friday night, my husband and I will spend the night together and generally smoke a bit of weed. And oh no,
you swear and you smoke the marijuana.
Yeah. And so when we get high, I think of my science classes as a kid, and I will start telling him about them. And be like, oh, remember in science class, but he just had I don't know if he's just blacked out the entirety of his like primary school life, but he doesn't remember. And so I teach him things about science. And so like, you know, when you drop a ball, no matter how heavy it is, it will drop at the same speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you drop a bowling ball and a golf ball, they'll both fall at the same speed. I told him that, he didn't believe me. So we're like running around the house, dropping things to see if they'll drop at the same speed. And he was like,
it is true.
Mind blown. And then another one was like, I taught him that like sound travels through water more effectively than through air.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were also talking about eels last night. Did you know that they don't really understand how eels reproduce? Like the scientists haven't figured out how eels reproduce yet. And
I've never thought about it.
Yeah, so apparently all eels, when they're fully grown and ready to reproduce, will all go into the Bermuda Triangle, and they've never been able to follow them in and figure out what they're doing. So full-grown eels go into the Bermuda Triangle, and then baby eels come out, and they don't know what's happening there. And they've never been able to find, like, they don't even know if they lay eggs or give birth to live young. They don't know anything about it.
What if they're just really developed and they don't reproduce? They just have like a time machine.
Yeah,
and they
like
just go back to their younger selves.
Phoenixes, where they just explode and then a baby one is just there. Yeah, maybe. But also, I was thinking that, you know, like how there's all those mysteries about the Bermuda Triangle. I'm like, what's going on there? Like the eels must be doing some weird mating ritual and like causing boats to sink and stuff.
They're just eating them.
And all eels come from like. So freshwater eels and saltwater eels are actually the same species, but they live in freshwater when they're young, and then they go to saltwater when they grow up to go back to the Bermuda Triangle and reproduce.
The more you know.
Yeah, science.
Crazy.
Science with April.
There you go. Thanks for the science lesson.
You're
I sucked at science at school. I liked the anatomy stuff because I'm into fitness and all that, but other than that, I couldn't care less. I just always asked my science teacher, who I would give her a shout out, but I can't remember what her name was, but yeah, she figured out that I always had like really weird hypotheticals and stuff, and she'd like help me figure out like the answer. Same with my math teacher actually. Shout out Mr. Dart, I remember his name. He was sick, but yeah, I just asked them like, what's more unlikely, this or this, and like we'd like do the math on how to figure it out. And one of the ones I asked my science teacher was, because you know how ants can lift like whatever times their body weight
like
or
50
whatever.
times, I think it is,
And I was asking my teacher, I was like, is that only because they're so small? Like if they were the size of humans, would they just die because their legs can't even hold their body weight? Or would they be like lifting up cars and throwing them? And we were like, and we did the science. And I think we figured out they would just die.
Really? I would hope that they would throw cars around and stuff.
It'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. How big would an ant have to be? I suppose it would have to be like 1/50th of the weight of a car to be able to lift a car, because they lift 50 times their body weight. I wonder what size that ant is if they're lifting a car. Pretty fucking big, I'd say.
Yeah.
Big enough to scare me.
Yeah. I mean, ants already scare me. They're fucking massive as they are. So.
In the Amazon, if you lay down on the ground, you'll be eaten by ants within like 1 hour. They just swarm you and eat you. So don't lay down if you're ever in the Amazon.
Don't
write
lay
that down.
In the Amazon. Cool. Because I'm going there tomorrow. So speaking of water animals, ADHD brain. Did you know that sharks don't have bones?
Do they not?
I found that out the other day. That's wild, isn't it?
No sharks have bones.
No, they have cartilage.
I did not know that.
All cartilage, no bones.
How interesting.
So I'm assuming it like looks like bones, but it's not actually bone.
Yeah.
So
wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. I'm going to bring that to science night. This Friday I'm going to bring that up.
Do it. We'll have a Friday night science podcast just on here, just talking about weird.
Finally, some decent podcasts.
Yeah. About fucking time. Yeah. I found that out on TikTok actually. It was one of those things that's like 6 general knowledge questions about blah, 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 blah. And I was like, how many bones do sharks have? And I was like, 204. And he was like, 0. It's all cartilage. And I was like,
wow.
the fuck? Yeah. So
sometimes TikTok will tell me something and I'll be so mind blown that I have to like text my friends and be like, did you know this? Like, Also, don't know if you saw my stories recently, but I've been making that like Oreo slice and Biscoff slice and stuff. Ooh.
And I found that on TikTok. It's no bake slice.
Ooh.
Fucking amazing.
Sounds amazing.
I tried a little bit because I'm on the strict diet, but I took it to my workplace and they polished it off so quick.
Oh, you know it's good when like the work peeps just polish it off. When I used to work in an office, if there was ever like a morning tea or something and I would bring a snack, if it got fully eaten, I would get such an ego boost.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, look at me. I brought the thing that everybody liked.
Bro, I brought some in on Wednesday, and by Wednesday afternoon, I was getting requests as to what to make next. I'm like, I'm not that good of a baker. I like baking. I'm not that good, though.
But was it no bake? You didn't even bake it?
No bake.
So you're not even a baker. You're just a preparer.
I'm just a faker.
Yeah.
Because, the first one I made was Biscoff Kinder Caramel. And then the one I just made on the weekend was Oreo cookies and cream. I should have brought some. Sorry.
You need to start a tradition with podcasts where like you bring a little snack.
Yeah.
We can do some ASMR eating in the mic, like some.
Or just like before we start the last part of the podcast, I'll like pause it, feed them a whole container full of the slice, drink some milk, go run a kilometre, then come back and we'll keep podcasting. They're just in there like,
have you seen those TikToks where it's like, this is a photo of a dog before and after I called him a good boy?
Yeah, yeah.
You could do like, this is my podcast guest before they had my slice and after, and it'll be like a big grin after.
Just like that, and then just
exactly. Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah, I'll write that next to the Amazon thing.
Yeah, I'm pumping out ideas.
Fuck yeah. I'll let you go soon because you got places to be, things to see, things to do, and
thank you. You will release me.
I will. That sounds cool. Don't arrest me. But we'll end off with some rapid fire and some would you rathers. So first, rapid fire question. These are not rapid at all. Is what is your go-to comfort show?
I love Charmed, not the new one, the original, the 90s Charmed. That's my favourite. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. I don't even know. I've never heard of that.
It's about 3 sisters that are witches and they have the power of 3 and they have to fight demons and warlocks. It's very cool. Millennials will know it. Any millennials listening, they'll know the show. All men wanted to marry them and all women wanted to be them. So
there you go.
They are amazing.
Oh, interesting. Is it on Netflix?
I don't think they have it on Netflix, but I believe it's on Stan. Shout out Stan.
It's always on every other platform other than the ones I have. Yeah, not shout out Stan. Sponsor me and then we'll shout you out. Yeah,
not sponsored.
Shout out. Beep. Yeah, fair enough. Well, that was a rapid fire one.
Yeah.
Happy days.
This is one question that I actually have answered a few times recently, so I had it ready to go.
There you go.
It was right at the front of my brain.
There you go. Because, I mean, when we talked the first time, you said Community. So
I do love Community as well, but I haven't watched Community over the last few weeks. I've been watching Charmed, so...
Top of mind.
Yeah, it's right there, ready to be plucked out of my brain.
Fair enough. Because I've watched Community a little bit, but haven't watched Charmed.
Yeah.
I almost said Wicked. Why did I almost say Wicked? I don't know.
There's witches in it, so...
See? Big brain.
Yeah.
Love it. Second question. What is your go-to fast food place or takeout place?
I'm a McDonald's girl through and through. I wish I could say something more interesting, but no, I love my McDonald's. And then if I'm feeling like hungover or depressed or anything, KFC. But yeah, Macca's is my go-to. Like if I'm having, like if I have a stressful day or something, then I'll be like, oh, I just need to eat my chicken nuggies and a Big Mac or something.
I was going to say, what's your go-to order? Is it nuggies or is it Big Mac?
Do you know what? I don't have a go-to order. I order something different every time. So I've been known to...
You're in your car going through a drive-thru. It's the last time you can ever go to Macca's. What are you getting?
Large double cheeseburger meal, no pickle, with a Fanta and a 6-pack of nuggets with aioli dipping sauce.
All I heard was no pickles, and I fucking love that, okay?
I cannot stand those things.
Oh,
those slimy little... They're foul. Why would anyone want them?
I don't get it, yeah. I have debates in my workplace about this all the time.
I feel like it should be an opt-in thing. I feel like they shouldn't have pickles on them unless you ask for pickles.
Exactly, yeah. Because, like... They're one of the foods I will like refuse to eat, but at the same time, if I was eating a burger, did not have pickles, took a bite, and like I ate some pickle, I'd eat that part, and then I'd just take out the rest of the pickle.
Yeah.
But like people that just buy pickles and eat them.
People in my household, Polish people, love pickles. They'll have a jar in the fridge at all times, and they'll have like, imagine you're eating like chicken schnitzel with mashed potato. They'll have a side of pickles with that.
Why would you do that?
It's some Polish thing. Like I don't get it either, but I'm like, why would you spoil a perfectly good meal with a pickle?
Eat a plain cucumber and drink some vinegar. Like at that point, like what?
Yeah.
I don't
It's
get
not
it.
for me. Sorry to anyone who likes pickles out
No,
there.
not sorry. Not sorry at all. If you like pickles, you deserve all of this roasting, okay?
Yeah,
Fuck pickles.
Look, you're weird. Sorry.
Yes, you are.
I'm not trying to be rude, but like
I am. I'm trying to be very rude.
Taste,
I'm
right?
trying to be very rude. If you like pickles, what are you doing?
And one thing I've noticed as well is that people that like pickles, they don't just like them. They love them.
It's their life. Yeah.
They love them. And I'm like, gross.
No one's like, they're okay.
Yeah.
It's either like, oh my God,
people
pickles
are
are life.
strange.
Or
yeah.
us being like,
absolutely
fuck
not.
them. Yeah, fair enough. We're flying through these. Look at us go.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay, if you could be tattooed by anyone, dead or alive, who was not an artist in any form, who would you want? When I say in any form, they can be like a musical artist, but not like a painter or a tattoo artist or anything.
I would love to get, if I have kids one day, I'd love to get my kid to tattoo me. But at the moment, I'm just an auntie. So I'll say I'd love my 3 nieces to tattoo me.
There you go.
Something like one of their like drawings or something. I would love that little keepsake.
Let's say, because I don't want you to have to say their names if you don't want to say their names or anything, but youngest, middle, oldest.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Which one's your favourite? Which one would you want to tattoo you? And not by age, just by who you would want to tattoo you. Not by like, oh, they're the oldest, so they do the best job. Just who would you want to tattoo you?
I don't have favourites between them. They're all equally amazing.
No, we're not accepting that. We're not accepting that.
I still have an answer. I just wanted to put that out first. I think it would be the youngest that I would want to tattoo me, only because she is a complete weirdo and I just know that she would draw something really weird, and like that's what I love about her. The older,
how old?
She's I believe she's 10 or 11.
I thought you were going to say like 3 or something. And I was like, fuck, get tattooed by a 3-year-old.
Yeah, well, she's like a complete weirdo. The older 2 are like more sort of girly girls, but the youngest, she's my little weirdo, and that's what I love about her.
Yeah. So if the youngest is watching, just know that you're the favourite, and if the other 2 are watching, just know you're not the favourite. So
I love them all so much. They're the best. I actually have their names tattooed on me already, so maybe I could get them to do a little symbol next to their name.
Yeah, but the youngest first because it's your favourite.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, so youngest first.
You can say that she's not your favourite. She.
Well, she also, another reason is her middle name is April after me. So that
clear
helps.
Favourite.
That helps.
Clear favourite. Yeah, nice. Good answers. That was the most rapid fire I think we've ever done.
Look at me go. I am so rapid.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, back to the second question because I'm good at that. Callback. In terms of Macca's chips, do you like them?
Look, I do, yes. I would not say no to some Macca's chippies. However,
are they the best?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're the best.
Okay.
So
Macca's.
Okay.
KFC. Hungry Jack's.
Take Hungry Jack's off. They're gross.
Macca's, KFC.
Yeah.
Nando's.
Okay. Yep.
Who else has chips? Red Rooster.
Yeah. Jester's.
Haven't had Jester's chips. We'll go those 5.
They're very lovely. I think KFC.
KFC's number 1.
I like the way the spices they put on there. Those are yummy. I love that. And I love a thicker chip. Like if I'm going to get chips, like if I'm just going out for chips, I'll go for KFC.
Yep.
I love Red Rooster chips only if they're done well. So, you know, sometimes you get Red Rooster and they're like really good chips, and then sometimes you get Red Rooster and they're like slimy.
I don't really get Red Rooster, but I've seen them. Yeah.
So Red Rooster can go one of 2 ways. You either get your slimy chip or your good chip. So if it was the good ones, then those would be next.
Yep.
Slimy ones would be last.
Yep.
And then Macca's and then Nando's. Oh, I do like the Nando's ones, but I'm not a Nando's girl, so I don't eat them very much.
Yep.
And then what else did we say? Oh, Jester's. Jester's chips that are very top tier, actually. I'll put them first. I've changed my mind. Jester's chips first.
Final answer, Jester's?
Yep.
KFC?
Yep.
Red Rooster?
Yes.
Macca's.
Red Rooster if they're the good ones, yeah.
But just in general?
Overall, their slimy ones bring them down a rank.
So you got to find the happy middle between really good and really bad.
Okay, go Macca's next.
Macca's?
Then Red Rooster.
And then
Nando's.
Oh, big call.
The only reason I put Nando's last, though, is because, like, I understand that Nando's has their cult following, but I'm not a Nando's girly.
I'm not super Nando's culty either. I do like the fact that they have the vegetarian options, being a vegetarian.
Yeah, fair.
But they're peri-peri chips, man.
Yeah.
They slap.
I understand. The times that I have had them, I have liked them, but it's not my go-to. Like, never in my life when I'm trying to choose somewhere to eat does it come to mind.
Fair. Okay. I personally would go Macca's number 1, easy.
Really?
Yep,
you like a skinny chip?
Oh, I do.
Oh.
I do like wedges as well, though, but
Yeah.
I do like a skinny chip. So Macca's, although they can be way too salty and cold sometimes, but in general, Macca's, Nando's, KFC. What are the other two?
Jesters you haven't tried.
So that'll go last by
yeah.
default, and Red Rooster.
Yeah. Okay.
But it would be like Macca's, Nando's,
Ooh, big drop down.
KFC, and then the other two like below the
Yeah.
ground. So
I think the thing I like about KFC is like the spices they put on the chips. It's like, I don't know what it is they put on there, but there's like the little black dots on there. I don't know what that is, but it tastes yummy.
I heard that there's 11 of them, and they're the secret herbs.
It's a secret. Shh, shh, shh.
The Colonel
Cut
won't
this
tell.
bit out.
The Colonel won't tell. I just thought, you know what we should do
Yeah.
is the blind ranking kind of things that people do on TikTok, like the 5 things you got to rank them without knowing what comes
yeah.
next. So I'm going to write down some things, and I'm going to cut out me writing down things, and you're going to blind rank them.
Okay.
So we're going to do it different food chains and
Yeah,
everything.
I thought you were. When you said a blind ranking, I thought you were going to have the foods for me to try, and then I could rank them.
If only.
You should
My
have
Biscoff slice, my Oreo
Yeah.
slice, both together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No time has passed at all. I haven't been writing down anything like I said I was going to. So 5 fast foods
Okay.
from all the places, some of the places that we've talked about, not
Right.
all of them, some of them that
Okay,
we've just
okay.
mentioned.
All right.
You're going to rank them from best to worst
Okay.
without knowing what comes next.
Oh, I'm nervous. Okay. I
Okay.
hope I don't offend my favourite foods.
Okay. First is Wicked Wings from KFC.
Ooh, and there's 5? Like the ranking is out of 5?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd put them last because I'm not a spicy gal.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to put them last.
Big call.
Yeah.
Big call.
I have eaten Wicked Wings in the past and enjoyed them, but
Yeah.
I've always thought I'd rather just a regular piece of chicken
Fair.
or
I'm not a
nugget.
spice person either. I've got
Yeah.
no tolerance to it. I will eat it. Like, I'm fine with eating spices. It just makes me burn up like a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
sometimes when I eat spicy food, I think, but imagine this if it wasn't spicy.
Exactly.
It would be better.
Exactly. It just ruins it. Okay, so Wicked Wings is number 5. Gotcha. Okay. Second, Nando's Peri Peri Chips.
I'll put them number 4.
Oh, you're stacking up the bottom of the list straight
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Thankfully you haven't said my favourite things yet, so I'm
I
easily
don't know
putting
what your
them down
favourite
there.
things are. so
Yeah,
well, I
which
mean,
is-
I do, but
Yeah.
okay. Macca's McChicken.
Ooh, that is very yummy. I'm going to put that number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
order my McChicken with added cheese. It's so good. Highly recommend.
There you go. Okay. The Filet-O-Fish.
Oh no, I should have had that last.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to put it in number 3.
Yep.
I'm
And then
sorry.
Number 1, you're not going to be happy.
Oh no.
Macca's Nuggets.
Oh no, yeah. I can go with Macca's Nuggie.
Okay, that's right.
They're not my favourite nuggies though. I prefer KFC nuggies.
Big call. Because then
Yeah.
when I did eat meat, Macca's Nuggies were my go-to.
Yeah, it's a different experience. You
Yeah.
go for your Macca's ones when you want something crisp,
Mm-hmm.
but you go for your KFC ones when you want something succulent.
Fair enough. I like
Yeah.
the crisp.
You like a crisp?
Yep,
I like a
yep.
succulent.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair.
Yeah, clip that. I like it crisp. You like it succulent.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That wasn't so rapid, and that was fun. I need to do that
Yeah.
more often with
Thank
people.
you.
Yeah.
More blind reactions on the pod.
I know.
Yeah.
Have to. Okay. The would you rathers.
Yeah.
Do you want to do yours first, or do you want me to do mine first?
I can do mine first.
Go ahead, because you had a
Okay.
good one, and I had to scramble
Yeah.
one
I
together.
don't know how good it is, but it's one that I think is interesting.
Okay.
So would you rather find out that there are 10,000 cockroaches living in your ceiling
Mm-hmm.
or one human man?
Do they affect me in any way, or am I just aware that they have been there, and then that's it? I'm just aware of them.
You have to remove them.
I have to remove them.
Yes.
Am I given anything to remove them with? Or do I just have to do it like barehanded? Or like, can I call pest control or something?
You may not call pest control.
Have to do it myself.
Barehanded.
Is the man aggressive? Is there a reason that he's in my ceiling, or is he just like crashing
He
there?
lives in there to spy on you in the shower.
Just me.
And your misso.
She doesn't live with me, but I'll take it anyway.
When she comes over,
Okay.
he's been spying.
Okay.
He's a proper perv, like
Okay.
a complete crazy perv.
Is he aggressive?
He's not aggressive.
Okay.
He is.
He's just creepy.
He's at retirement age, so he'd.
Oh, the man, easy, 100%, not even close. I was thinking like a like a 30-ish year old guy
No,
that's going to
no,
like
no.
want to fight.
He's more so disgusting than he is physically an opponent.
Mate, at this point, I'm hoping he's there. That sounds like fun to me.
So you'd rather have him for the removal, but for the finding out that it lives in your roof, would you rather find out a man's been in there or find out there's been cockroaches in there?
I would rather find out that there's cockroaches.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they're there and I haven't seen them, then oh well.
Yeah.
The man, it's more like, oh, what the fuck? But also,
Yeah.
like, you chose me? God.
It's like, oh my
Why
God.
me?
So you think I'm cute or something?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm taken. Hang around. Yeah.
I think that cockroaches are my most, like, feared bug. Like, I'm very fearful.
Really?
I'm fearful of a cockroach.
Do you know that
they
cockroaches
disgust
don't
me.
like humans?
I know. Do you know people always say, because I have bugs tattooed on my hands, they're like, oh, bugs are so gross. And I'm like, these ones aren't as bad as cockroaches.
What have you got?
I've
Spider
got a
and...
spider and a scorpion.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I don't mind spiders.
I'd rather come across a scorpion than a cockroach, which is strange because the scorpion could do way more damage, but cockroaches just freak me out.
See, spiders I'm fine with if I know where they are. I don't like being surprised by them. Recently I posted on my Instagram story that I've had a huntsman like living in my car for probably 6 months, and he just
actually,
lives
I did see this
lives
post.
behind the mirror, and then he was like in my car sometimes and stuff, and I was driving and he was like on the window.
Yeah.
And it was more just like, oh, fuck.
On the inside of the window?
No, outside.
Okay, right.
And then when I pulled up, he'd crawled on top of the roof and I couldn't find him anymore. And I was worried I was going to open the door and he was going to drop down.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm fine with, even if he just sat on my dash and just lived there, I'd have no problem. I just don't like the thought of driving. He starts crawling on me or something.
I have mad respect for spiders that are outside. Like if I see a spider web or a spider doing his thing, building his web, catching his little bugs, I'm like, respect. But once he comes into my house, I'm like, sir,
you must leave.
We had an agreement.
Yeah.
You stay out there and then I'll be chill. But as soon as you come in here.
Do you kill them or do you vacate them?
It depends.
Depends how big they are?
Not the size. It's
not the size that matters.
Yeah, the size doesn't matter in this scenario, but it's their level of poisonous. So if it's a redback, I'm sorry, sir, you must.
If it's a redback, I'm not even thinking about it twice. That motherfucker's
I'm
going.
so sorry, sir, but it's time for your demise. But if it is like a huntsman or something, I'll try and capture him and put him outside.
Huntsmen's are chill.
Yeah, they're pretty cool guys.
Huntsmen? Huntsmen.
Huntsmen? Oh, huntsmen. Oh, maybe it's huntsmen.
Huntsmo? Hunts me. I don't know. Yeah. No, they're chill. They're chill.
Yeah,
no, they don't do anything.
They're pretty laid back. But if it's like a funnel web or something that's like gonna kill me, then I'm like, nah, you've crossed the boundary here, buddy.
Boy. Yeah.
But if he's chill, if he's not gonna eat me or anything, then I'm like, all right, sir.
I had a golden orb weaving spider.
Wow.
On the washing line not long ago. So
they're very pretty.
They are. My missus came up to me and saw it, and she was like, "Can I go capture it and take it home?" I was like, let's not. She's like, no. I'm pretty sure you can grab them. I'm like, pretty sure is not good enough in this situation.
You might want to give that a miss.
Yeah, I didn't let her. But
although I have done my first aid course, so if you got bitten by a spider, I know the steps to take care.
Okay,
so I'll have you back.
Yeah, I also got my first aid certificate. Don't remember the spider part, but yeah, if anything goes down, we out here. And my missus is studying paramedicine, so.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
she'll know what to do.
Not a chance.
She might
run and scream.
I actually heard a really interesting story about like venomous spiders and snakes in Australia. So Aboriginal people, like before they were colonised and stuff, if someone got bitten by a poisonous snake or spider, they would bury them in the ground up to their neck, and the pressure of the dirt around them would stop the poison from spreading. And because they're in the ground, they wouldn't be moving, so the poison wouldn't pump around their body as fast. And they would set a little fire next to them and just hang out with them while they waited out. And because the poison would pump through the system so slowly, they would usually survive it. So poisons that usually kill people, you can survive. If you're in pressure and very still, you might be able to make it through.
There you go. And you just got to be built different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these days we have got anti-venoms and things, so don't bury your mate.
Yes.
You might just call the ambulance.
Yes.
But if you're in the middle of nowhere, just bury them up to their neck.
Yeah. How are you with snakes?
Snakes, I feel if I saw one in the wild, I'd probably be like, I'm not going near that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more respectful of them. I'm like, I'm not going to go near you. I had one time where I went to like a waterfall and there was a snake there. I didn't realize, and I like sitting under a rock, and I got very close to him before I noticed he was there, and I squealed like a schoolgirl. I was so scared. But once I had like at least 10 meters between him and I was like, okay, respect now. We have, as long as there's that distance.
That's the problem with snakes, is that they blend into stuff too well. If you know that they're there, same with spiders, if you know that they're there, it's fine, because they're not going to come towards you. They don't want to be near you.
They see you and they're like, oh dear, I'm out of here.
Yeah, so you just got to give them their space. So
that's it.
Yeah, good, nice. Yeah, because my missus' mum, she's terrified of snakes being around the house and stuff, because she saw one time. She's like, no, they're going to come like into the house. I'm like, they don't want to come into the house. They want to be outside where it's hot. They don't want to be in the house. So they don't want to come anywhere near. So
and that's the thing as well. Like if there is a snake in your house, it's not coming in there to hurt you. He's looking for either food or warmth or something. Yeah. So, but yeah, I would probably have a panic attack if there was a snake anywhere in my residence. I would probably freak out.
I kind of want to get my snake handling license.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
You want to get a little pet snake?
No, not really.
My missus you just want to be equipped.
Yeah, she wants either a pet spider or a pet snake. And I'm like, they're such boring pets. You can't do anything with them. You just look at them. Like, I do think
pointless. They're very cool. Like when I see like girls online, like especially like the goth babes, and they'll have like their little pet snake. I think it looks cool, but it's like for me, it's like I probably shouldn't get a pet as a fashion accessory. Yeah. Like I want something I can snuggle with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and snake's just going to come and kill you one night. Just
have you got pets?
I don't. My housemates have 2 dogs, so they're kind of my pets. And then my missus has 2 dogs and a cat, and I love them with all my heart.
Oh, that's so cool.
So if anyone's ever seen the little chihuahua that I post on my story, that's my missus' dog.
Yeah.
Her name is Kiara.
She has dogs and a cat. That is like the best.
They get along so well.
Yeah, I have a cat, but my dream scenario would be one day to have a cat and a dog so that I can fulfill every need, because like what else could you need?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully one day.
She's got a black cat named Salem.
Cute.
A little chihuahua. Her name's Kiara, but she goes by Stink or Stinky.
Cute.
And then Miley, the chihuahua cross Maltese Shih Tzu or something.
So they're all very small?
Yes, very small.
How sweet.
And then she wants to get a Great Dane when we move out. So she can have a chihuahua and a Great Dane.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get a golden retriever. But
well, I've heard that that there's like a thing going around, like a meme where like black cats and golden retrievers are kind of like those couples where it's like a goth girlfriend and then like the golden retriever boyfriend. Yeah.
That's me and my missus.
That's very much us as well.
She's the goth babe and then I'm just the golden retriever. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like my personality is very black cat and my husband's is very golden retriever. And he even has like, he's like light hair, blue eyes type of guy. So he fits that kind of like sweetie pie energy.
Yeah. Yeah. A little softy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. My would you rather is kind of boring, but I just threw it together very quickly. So would you rather have 9 lives like a cat or free healthcare and food for the rest of your life? I will preface it by saying with the 9 lives thing, you can like die but still be alive. But let's say if you jump off the top of a building and use one of your 9 lives, you're not just totally fine. You're still fucked, but you're still alive and completely healthy. But like bones are broken and everything, but like everything's okay. You're not just going to be in a hospital bed. Like you can get it all repaired and be back going, but you're fucked for then.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
What if you were like, what if your death was like you died of old age? Could you just keep living?
Yep.
So indefinitely you could stay alive, but you would get very old.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you got cut in half or something, you're still alive.
But you're in half.
You're in half.
Okay, so no healing ability.
No healing, just you stay alive.
Okay. And it was free food and free healthcare?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'd want the 9 lives. Because
would you abuse it or would you just want it so that you can live longer?
I wouldn't abuse it. I think, so this is like deep, vulnerable here, but my biggest fear is death. I think about it pretty often, have panic attacks about it and everything. So I think having that little buffer to know that like I'm not going to accidentally die when I'm walking down the street, like I'm not going to, I think that would be very easing for my anxiety. So I'd go with that. And
Definitely
also,
black cat energy, because my missus is exactly the same. She freaks out about it just randomly. So
oh my God, she sounds amazing.
she is.
So yeah, I think like the free food and free healthcare, as good as that would be, I'm like pretty chill with buying my own food. I feel like I'm in a good system. Everything's very expensive at the moment, but I'm
Yes, it is.
thankfully earning enough money to be able to feed myself. And then the healthcare, like, I mean, I use up my Medicare. I use as much free healthcare as I can get.
Imagine being able to go to the doctor and no charge ever.
Yeah, that would be
Diagnosis, no charge.
be very handy, I must admit. But I think I'd take the 9 lives simply because of my severe fear of death.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But like, imagine getting shot in the face or something like that. Like someone pulls out a gun, bang.
It'd be pretty fucked. And you know, when I was younger, I used to think, you know, when you see Saw movies and stuff, and they're like being tortured, and I used to think like, oh, I'd rather just die. Like death would be easier than torture. But the older I get, the closer I get to the end, I'm like, no, I don't care. I just want to stay alive. I'm too scared. Torture me. I can make it.
Fair enough. Are you scared of being dead or dying?
Being dead, or like
just not knowing what comes next.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or like nothingness.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The fear of the unknown.
That's it. I'm also a little scared of the dark, so I think they're probably related. Yeah.
Black cat energy.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you seen the new Saw?
I haven't, because do you know this is another thing with my anxiety. So when I was younger, before I developed this fear, I used to watch scary movies and stuff all the time. And now, if someone dies in a movie, I'm probably can't watch it. Especially if they die in like a very realistic way. Like even like movies where someone maybe like dies of a terminal illness or something. Freaks me out.
Yeah, just panic attack.
Freaks me out. Yeah. Or like when people have to sort of make the decision to die, like if it's like you know, when you see like someone gets their arm stuck in like a cliff or whatever and they have to like cut their arm off to survive or something. When I think if that ever happened to me and I had to make that decision to cut my arm off, that just sends me spiraling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Saw yet, but I really want to.
I've heard that it's disgusting, so that's
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah,
because the last few Saw movies have been really bad.
Yeah, I've heard that it's sick and twisted, which is what you want in a scary movie. You know, there's more sick and twisted, the better.
Might go watch it this coming weekend.
Yeah. There's a new Aussie horror film coming out, or maybe it is already out, that I really want to see. And it's like meant to be in the top 10 scariest movies of all time, and it was made by Aussies. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I really want to give it a try. Even though scary movies aren't my thing, I'm like, up the Aussies, let's go. I want to see it.
Right. Have you ever seen Wolf Creek?
I have, yeah.
How'd you go with that?
Terrified. Absolutely pissed myself.
But think about it, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I could go on a whole tangent about this, but like, I really liked it until you think about the fact that it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
And like in the second one, the guy like that lived and like went back to England or whatever. But the whole story, no, not the second one, the first one. And he was like stuck in that dungeon, like pinned up and everything, and all that shit happened to the girls.
Yeah.
So how the fuck is there any evidence that happened to the girls? Because he didn't see it, but he's the one that lived. So it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Save it for the next episode.
Yeah.
Yes, have to have you on again. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Where can people find you on your socials and all that stuff?
April Alexander with a KS. That is my Insta handle, and then April Alex 666 on TikTok.
There you go. Find her there. Subscribe to the podcast, like the podcast, share the podcast. Again, big shout out to the Hen House. Thank you, April, for coming on.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.